Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we shall explain fixed asset module in eSafanad ERP. Fixed assets are valuable things like lands, buildings, furniture, devices, and cars, which are expected to be used for more than one physical year. This module provides an easy way to managing fixed assets. It enables you to maintain and control the complete life cycle across depreciating or non-depreciating assets from acquisition to selling or scrapping. Before adding a new fixed asset and making some transactions like acquisition, depreciation, and selling or scrapping, let's clarify that fixed assets can be under groups. So we can depreciate them together or one by one. Here we have default groups: vehicles, furniture, buildings, lands, and you can add more groups. In each group, we have to set some settings, for example, depreciation years, or we can set yearly percentage for depreciation. Some assets like lands, we stop depreciating them from this option. Also, we can set depreciation period type. Monthly depreciation is yearly depreciation amount divided to 12. Daily means divided to 365. Yearly is full yearly depreciation amount. Also, we have to mention some issues about posting profiles. Fixed assets transactions are acquisition, depreciation, sale, or scrap. Also, there is acquisition adjustment and depreciation adjustment. For each kind, we have to set the ledger account which will be affected. For example, for acquisition, credit account is the bank or cash, but the debit is the fixed asset account. So we can set an account for each group of fixed assets as debit. Let me show you vehicles account. I'm copying its number and move to finance to chart of accounts. I will search. Here we see it. Also, we find depreciations accounts. So we set these accounts in posting profiles as I have mentioned. This in acquisition adjustment also similarly. It is allowed to set an account for each group or an account for specific asset instead of a group, according to your arrangement for controlling assets. But in depreciation, we will set debit and credit. Here for the assets account, which was mentioned recently in adjustment, and here for expenses. For example, this account for vehicle, this account will be affected at depreciation. It is under expenses. Also at selling assets. Here we set the account as debit for all selling transactions. It is under revenues. We can also set some parameters. Here, check this option to set serial ID for assets in each group alone. If you unchecked it, the asset will belong to the same serial ID regardless of its group. Now I will add a new fixed asset. And I will set the group. Here we notice acquisition date and at service date. Now asset has been added. Fixed asset acquisition has to be made from finance module. We create a new journal. I explained finance in another video tutorial. Here I set fixed asset journal name and enter description. Now debit account type is fixed asset. The account is GM car. Here I set the value. And don't forget to set posting profile as acquisition from here. Then enter credit account. I will purchase it from bank. From bank. Then apply and post. Now if I return to fixed assets module and looked at asset info, we can notice under balances tab the actual acquisition and net book for this car. After 1 month, for example, accountant will do depreciation transaction, new, set the date, and description. We can select a group to depreciate all its members, or we select a specific asset to be depreciated. Press calculate. Here data was fetched and here the duration for acquisition to current depreciation, and here the amount and debit and credit accounts as was set in posting profiles. We just post this record. Now we notice the generated journal. It has been created automatically. Again, return to assets info to see actual depreciation and notice that net book has decreased and the status become became depreciated. Depreciations are repeated during months. After few years or months, you may sell or scrap if it is no more usable. I will sell this car now. Here set the credit account who purchased this car. Select the asset and set the price, selling price. Apply, then post. Go to finance to see the automatic journal. It contains 4 lines. Here to reverse acquisition and here for loss or profit. Similarly, we can scrub from this screen. Select the asset, then post. We can have some reports like fixed asset statement. Select an asset or select the whole group. I am selecting one asset. Here we see transactions for this asset. Also, we have fixed asset group balances and fixed assets balances. Thanks for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.